Hidden Figures, a biographical drama film released in 2015 that chronicles the once untold story and journey of three African American women who played an important role in America's victory over Russia in the 10th space race. Directed by Theodore Melfi, this film follows Katherine Johnson, portrayed by Taraji P. Henson, Mary Jackson, portrayed by Janelle Monáe, and Dorothy Vaughan, portrayed by Octavia Spencer, during their time at NASA. Their official job titles were human computers, but these women were much more than that. They were mathematicians who calculated flight trajectories for missions, NASA engineers, and NASA supervisors. However, their gender and the color of their skin made it extremely difficult for these women to excel at their jobs and grow their careers. It took proving their excellence several times before they were taken seriously and respected in the workforce. However, they persisted and reaped the benefits.
We have proven life can be sustained in space. Now we will be first to send a human.
A damn dog and a damn mannequin.
The year was 1961, and beating Russia in the space race was all the rage. After a successful Soviet launch, the pressure to send an American into space was at an all-time high. The Space Task Group needed all the help and greatness they could get, and that help and greatness was Katherine. She was assigned to the Space Task Group, becoming the first black woman on the team. She was met with great skepticism and disrespect from her male co-workers, especially Paul Stratford, who was the head engineer. As Katherine was given this unofficial promotion, Mary was also given one. She was assigned to the space capsule heat shield team, where she realized that she qualifies as an engineer and should be given that job. Her friend Dorothy also realizes that she qualifies for the supervisor role, as she is already acting as one. However, she, just like Mary, is told that it is not possible. As all three of these women are prohibited from improving their careers, they continue to do their jobs and prove just how excellent they are. Katherine was able to solve the landing coordinates for John Glenn's mission. Mary discovered the problem with the heat shield, and Dorothy was able to program and start the IBM 7090. In the end, these women were able to secure their promotions as a member of the Space Task Group, as an official NASA engineer, and as a supervisor. I feel that this movie did an excellent job at telling the story from the editing. I appreciated the edits that were made during the several montages of Katherine running half a mile to the only colored bathrooms at the job. In one of these montages, Katherine is running in the rain. Close-up shots and frames were used to show her soaking wet high heels and to show her uniform, which is a major way in which these women were controlled in the workforce. In addition, match action edits were used to show her running and the paths she took. These match action edits played a key role in showing how extensive her run was without literally showing her run half a mile. This particular scene is also another great example of the film score. This movie was produced by Pharrell Williams, and he was also one of the songwriters and singers of the original songs in this movie. These original songs can be heard throughout the movie. Notable scenes include when Katherine, Dorothy, and Mary experience some car trouble but are provided a police escort to work. During the scene, the song titled Crave plays. This song, like the many other songs in this film, add to the excitement of a scene and contribute greatly to the story being told. They are very fitting.
Come and hold your horses.
Look at here, can you move like that? It gets me up, anxiety.
The same can be said for the sound effects used in this movie. The most obvious and noteworthy would be the sound effect of John Glenn's launch into space. This type of sound effect is expected for this type of movie, but I still appreciated it. It made the experience and the work of these women come to life. They didn't necessarily do everything that was needed to send the spacecraft off, but they definitely played a big role. Therefore, hearing the explosion-like sound gave off a rewarding and proud feeling. Several of the scenes that are set in space or show a spacecraft launch are created through CGI. In the case of John Glenn's mission into space, I felt that the CGI worked. There was a part of the movie where John Glenn was caught in a fireball. CGI made the scene much more intense and nerve-wracking to watch. The CGI also made this scene possible on a grand scale. In addition, it did not look too animated or take away from the film. I cannot say the same for the CGI used in the scene of Gus Grimson's recovery. The CGI here used much brighter and vibrant colors, and it made this scene feel like a whole new movie. In addition, it made the scene look like a cartoon or video game for children. Therefore, it wasn't very believable. This movie is both educational and entertaining on an important piece of history that has been suppressed and somewhat hidden from the world. As so brilliantly stated on the official Hidden Figures website, a group of black women working at the Langley Memorial Aeronautical Laboratory in Hampton, Virginia, were helping America dominate aeronautics, space research, and computer technology, carving out a place for themselves as female mathematicians who were also black mathematicians who were also female. I am glad that their stories have been brought to light and given their due recognition, but upset that it has taken so long. Because these are women, and women of color, it has taken more than 50 years for their story to be told and recognized on a grand scale. Before this movie was released, many people did not know of Katherine Johnson, Mary Jackson, or of Dorothy Vaughan. Their stories of how they were key figures in the sending of the first America to orbit the Earth is not, but should be taught in school. In fact, I feel that this movie should be shown in schools. It does a great job at showing what Katherine, Mary, and Dorothy accomplished, but also at showing the sexism and racism they dealt with every day. We watched as Katherine, who was one of the best mathematicians at NASA, be disrespected, not given her due credit, and constantly undermined by her co-worker, Paul Strafford. However, we also saw her grow her confidence and stand up to Strafford in more ways than one, such as listing herself as an author on reports despite being told that computers don't author reports. We also saw Katherine stick up for herself and call him out on his comment regarding brief reads, which was that there was no protocol for women attending.
There's no protocol for women attending.
There's no protocol for a man circling the Earth either, sir.
We also saw Mary win her court case to go to night school, despite the schools being segregated in an effort to become an engineer, which was a male-dominated field. Lastly, we saw Dorothy become the supervisor and ensure that the women she works with have a job. We saw girl power in this movie from all three of these women. Katherine, Mary, and Dorothy faced gender inequality and racism every day on the job, yet they didn't let that stop them. This movie does a great job at showing the girl power these women exhibited. It is an empowering movie for girls everywhere.